This is chapter number 8, Rural Livelihoods. How do people earn in rural areas? Let us understand these words first. Rural means because any country we can divide it into village parts and the urban parts, cities, towns, mega cities. So a village can be small, it can be big village. Cities, as I said, it can be town, it can be big, it can be mega cities. But the main distinction here is the village is smaller, cities are bigger, and facilities also. So what are the differences and similarities in the people who live in a rural area? How do they earn? How do they eat, feed their people? This is what we are going to see here. What are the opportunities available to them in terms of earning, to live, to eat? If I take total India, if you go to Jammu Kashmir or Tamil Nadu or any other place, you will find out in this discussion that there is a pattern, there is a flow in which you will see that all these people, they have certain similarities. They are relatable. You can relate them. So they are getting equal opportunities or not. What are their life situations and problems? They are almost similar, whether you go to east, west, north, south. So we'll talk on this matter with a story. And the story is about Kalapattu village. Kalapattu village. This Kalapattu village, this is an idea of a village. It's not actually a village. It's kind of a town. So we are talking specifically about a village. Whenever I talk about village, I will talk about agriculture. Indian villages are all about agriculture. Kalapattu is very close to sea coast in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu has a very huge, large sea coast. 8 degrees it starts from that 8-degree latitude. And mostly it's coastal region. So this Kalapattu village is quite close to this sea coast. As I said, whenever we'll talk about a village, we will talk about agriculture or agricultural related job, agricultural related work, like vegetables, like rice, wheat, all these. These are farming. These are farming activities. Actually going to the land, growing crops and distributing or eating. And there are other activities also which are non-farm. Non-farming activities are also done in Kalapattu, like making the baskets, making different utensils, pottery, bricks, bullock carts. So all these are non-farm activities. It's a town picture you can see. Along with this, you will find blacksmiths working with the iron thing, nurses, that is helping the doctors, medical staff, teachers are also there, shikshak, washermen, means the people who wash your clothes and iron them, weavers, barbers, cycle repair mechanics. Wherever you go to a town or a village, you'll see people are having cycles there. Cycle. So even some of them don't have enough money to buy them, so they hire it for 1 day or 2 day or a week. So this is how cycle and cycle shop, repair shop are very prevalent in villages. Along with this, we have shopkeepers and traders also. Shopkeepers and traders. So when you go to the market, if this Kalapattu, it's talked about a village, you'll find a canteen, small canteen. And in this canteen, normal food like the upma, idli, dosa, sambar, and some sweets also like Mysore pak, vadai, and bonda. Mysore pak is a very good sweet. You just eat it and it will melt in your mouth. Along with this, as I said, you have cycle, this blacksmith family, and just near that we have cycle hire and repair shop. Washing clothes, that is, we have washermen also. And there are some people who work for construction also. They go to the town, nearby town, and lorry drivers are also there. That is transportation work also, and construction also, people are involved. So this is the place, Kalpattu village. Paddy is the key. Paddy is the major crop. Rice. Basically, rice we are talking about. If you go to Tamil Nadu or southern India, if you go to say Jammu Kashmir, mostly you will see rice. People eat rice there. They don't eat that much of roti or bread. But if you come to central India, like Haryana, these Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, mostly people eat roti, wheat, because wheat and rice both are grown there according to the climatic conditions. So we have staple food like chawal, dal, roti, but they have these sambar, upma, idli. And coconut you will always find in the wherever you go in the coastal region, you will always find coconut, Goa, Odisha, wherever. And then we have ganna, sugarcane, and then mango orchards. Mango is also grown here in Kalpattu. So this I gave you an idea of Kalpattu village. Now let us go to the individual level. She is Tulsi. Tulsi, she is actually a laborer, farming labor. She works at Ramalingam's land. Ramalingam, he is a big farmer. He owns around 20 acres of paddy fields. 20 acres of land, paddy field. And Tulsi worked for Ramalingam from 8:30, morning 8:30 to evening 4:30. Tulsi. So this is transplanting paddy, is back-breaking work. I'll just show you how Tulsi feels. And there is a woman, Karuthamma, who is wife of Ramalingam. Karuthamma is the supervisor of all these people who are working in Ramalingam work. She supervises the work, what Tulsi and other workers are doing. Karuthamma. So what is happening here is that this is the say 20-acre land or one part of the land. What happens always whenever we do paddy? First, there are samplings. That is, we have to prepare the samplings. Then we have to transfer it, transplant it to another field. First preparing sampling, then transplanting it. And after this, when it grows, so there are weeds. Other crop also grows, other, you can say podhe. So we have to cut it. This is called weeding. Nirai gudai. This is weeding. So you have to take these weeds who are actually taking nutrients, which is supposed to go to the paddy. So that is called weeding. Finally, once these paddy is ready or rice is ready, we need to cut it, harvest it. So what I said is, first process of paddy is planting. That is first creating the samplings and then planting, then weeding, then harvesting. So these are the major steps in order to have a crop, good product or good produce of a paddy crop. These are the process being followed. Chawal, rice. Now what Tulsi does? Tulsi is involved in each and every process here. Tulsi. Planting, weeding, harvesting, these are seasonal work. For this, Ramalingam calls her. For planting, she calls her. For weeding, she calls her. And for harvesting, she calls her. But when Tulsi was young, she started this work. She started work when she was very young. But now she has aged. A lot of water is required, and a lot of working in water is required when you are dealing with paddy. For this, she is not able to bend over like this for hours. It's a painstaking job. Ramalingam gives her 40 rupees. This is not much. This is not a very good amount. But Tulsi knows that whenever planting, weeding and harvesting of paddy will be done, Ramalingam will call her only, means her and those farmers, laborers who works for Ramalingam. There is Raman also. Raman is husband of Tulsi. Raman is Tulsi's husband. He is also a labor. And he sprays pesticides. Keetnashak ka chhadkav. He sprays pesticides. This is his work. So this pesticide work is done by Raman, and again this is a seasonal job. He will not always do this pesticide work. For that, he has to find some other work. So either he loads sand from the nearby river, or he go to the nearby quarry, Khan, and he may work for the stone work. So some labor work he does whenever he is not having that pesticide work. Now, along with it, this is the work they get to eat. This is livelihood. Along with this, Tulsi cooks, Tulsi cleans. Tulsi goes to the nearby area, forest, to collect the firewood, Jalawan Lakdi. 1 kilometer she goes every day to get water. Raman helps her for getting the groceries from the market. And they have 2 kids, 2 girls. One of the girl, she fell ill last year. And because she was so ill, she was taken to the hospital in the town. And because of this, she has to take money from Ramalingam. And now, as she has taken money from Ramalingam, she has gone into debt. She has taken a loan. And what we saw here, we have seen that she has taken money, and for completing that money or returning that money, she has to take again money. So as I was saying, that preparing, samplings, transplanting, weeding, harvesting. So first, these are different time span or work which are required for the things to complete for paddy. But our idea, what we want to emphasize here is that these are times when the work is there. But there are certain times where work is not there. Job is not there for these labors. Everyone, if you talk about me, I need 3 meals a day. I have a stomach. So stomach asks me food every day. But what about these landless laborers? They don't get the job or money every day. Most of the families, if you see in the rural areas, most of the time they spend in collecting this firewood, getting the water from long distances, and getting the chara or grazing, taking them to the cattle for grazing. Most of the time they pass here. Nearly one-fifth of all the people, families living in rural areas of India are agricultural laborers. That is, they are labor who work in the agriculture area or agricultural field in our country. 1/5 of all rural families. Please remember this. Tulsi and Raman, they are landless laborers. They don't even hold an inch of soil, land on this earth. Some of them, they may have very small. Some of them, they may have somewhat bigger. And some of them, the village people may have big lands. What happens, as I said, Raman is not getting job all the time. So what will he do? He is forced to migrate to some other place where at that particular season some job is available. This is called migration, traveling. That is why people from Bihar, Jharkhand, they go to different places in order to get work so that they can feed their family. So this is the story about Tulsi. Coming to Shekhar. Now Shekhar has just one advantage, that he owns a land of 2 acres. 2-acre land he has. And Shekhar works here only. Shekhar and the family. And if you see the Shekhar and neighbors' land, whenever there is a work of, say, harvesting or planting or whatever, the neighbor would help Shekhar, and when the neighbor would need help, Shekhar will help these neighbors. So this is how there is a close-knit society of this rural area. Along with this, he has to take seeds and fertilizers from the trader, and what he gets it as a loan. He has no money right now, so he get it as a loan. So what will be done when he is taking without money seeds and fertilizers from the trader? So whenever the crop will come, he is forced to send it or sell it to the trader. Even if he sells it for a less price, he has to sell it to the trader. So he'll get around 60 bags of paddy from his field. 60 bags. Okay? And the rice will come. Most of it he has to give it to the trader, and some of them it will keep it for his own use in home. But this food will only last for 8 months. Only 8 months. What about the rest 4 months? We have 12 months. As I said, our stomach doesn't understand. Our stomach needs food every day. So he also has a hybrid cow, Sankar Gai. And he fetches, or he takes the milk and he sells it to the cooperative. Cooperative means same work doing people, they make a cooperative or a committee. And this is how he gets some more money. But Shekhar here, he has taken some money for seeds and fertilizers. He has taken this money. And now he has taken money from some moneylender for other work. If the seed is of not good quality, or if the seed fails, he is not taking seeds from trader, he is taking money. Or if he is taking seeds of some fertilizer doesn't work, or the pesticide is not working, or there are so many pests which cannot be killed by pesticide. Along with this, if it is raining heavily or it doesn't rain at all. So there are so many scenarios which are unpredictable, which you cannot anticipate. What will happen to Shekhar? If this nuksan, this problem comes, Shekhar has to take again money. Okay, so money, first he has taken loan. In order to return this loan, he has to take again loan. And in order to pay this second loan, he has to take another loan. And he will be in a debt trap. He will always, everyone in this rural area, if he is not well enough, they will always be in this debt trap. Mostly in village areas, if there is any problem in the crops, they are committing suicide because they have no money, and people out there, because they have taken money from them, they are forcing them. These are our bread givers, and they are committing suicide. Now let us come to Ramalingam and Karuthamma. Ramalingam, he is Ramalingam, and he has a good land. He is a big money lender also. Along with this, not only he has land, along with this, he has, I told you about Tulsi, no land. Shekhar, 2 acre. Ramalingam, big land. Ramalingam and Karuthamma, big land. Along with this land, he has rice mill, means rice processing unit. and he is also selling seeds, pesticides. He has taken money from bank and for this rice mill, and he buys paddy from nearby village people also, or surrounding villages. And this, the rice that he produces in this mill, he also sells it to the nearby towns. This gives him, Ramalingam, a good income. Good income. These agricultural laborers and the farmers in India, if you see, in India, every 2 out of 5 rural families are agriculture laborers. They are just labor. They just put in their work, their body. They don't have any money. They don't have any land. They just work. They are totally dependent on Ramalingam kind of people, or these farmers, big farmers. Many of them, they are landless. Some of them, they have very small lands, and just to feed themselves, like vegetables making. So 80% of the people I'm talking about, they either have no land or they just have meager land, 1 acre, 2 acre, like this. But 20% people are of kind of Ramalingam. So we have to think about this 80% people who barely meet their end meets, make their end meet. So it's very difficult for them to survive, right? The large part of this, they produce this Ramalingam kind of farmers. They do business. They have shops. They have money lending jobs. They do trading. They have small factories also. And this is good. I'm not saying Ramalingam is not going good, because if Ramalingam is not there, where Tulsi is going to work? But we also have to see about 80% people who are not having it. Let me tell you about the terrace farming in Nagaland. Because it's a hilly area, the terrain is like this. How do they do farming? How? So there is a way. You make these slopes as zigzag in a stepwise manner. So these are the lines. The water will come, and because these are plain areas being carved out, so water will stay there. So I'll talk to you about Chizami. Chizami is in the Fake district of Nagaland, and the people here, they belong to Chaksang community, and they are very popular for the terrace cultivation, step farming, terrace cultivation. So they make up carve out the plots, and these plots, the terrain remains like this, or the basic structure remains like this. Along with this, they have the place where they can get the crops out of it. So they have their own fields, they work collectively, they share collectively, they eat collectively. So everything, and they are kind of family. It's a cold knit community there in Chizami of Fake district of Nagaland. Now, as I said, whenever we talk about, so we talked about certain different places, but whenever you come to the central India part, you'll see along with this farming, etc., they also have different jobs to earn their livelihood. Middle India, basically, Madhya Bharat. So here, like Chhattisgarh, like Uttar Pradesh region and Madhya Pradesh, so they collect mahua, tendu leaves. They take out honey and they sell it to the traders. And also milk. Milk is a very important job. Every farmer, generally they have a cow or a bhais, so buffalo, and they rear milk and sell it. So they get some extra income because of this. And in India, if you see, we have a very large coastal areas. Large coastal area we do have. And there are many villages and many towns which are near these coastal areas. So the fishing is a job, is a kind of livelihood or earning way most of this coastal area people do. So let us go to another place which is quite near to Kalapattu. It's called Pudupet. It's called Puduppad. This is also a village, and it's near to Kalapattu. So here we'll talk about Aruna and Parivalan. Aruna and Parivalan, all of them are involved, and all those families which are related are involved in fishing. So all of these, you see, they have a catamaran. The people who go to fish, they have a catamaran. So this catamaran is simply a boat, simple boat with an engine. It can go deep sea, but it can go to shallow sea, and it can catch fishes which are eaten by us. Because fish, most of the coastal area, people eat fish or fish products. Fish or fish products. At morning 7 o'clock, this place becomes very crowded. At 2 o'clock night, all these people with the catamaran, like Aruna, his husband, the brother-in-law and the brother, all these three at 2 at night, they go in the sea to catch fish at 2 o'clock to the shallow waters. And then they come back by 7 o'clock in the morning. At 7 o'clock. And you see here a lot of people, they come here for this trade of fishing. This trading is done because the fish is coming. And here you see most of the women comes, because southern India society is mostly matriarchal. Mother is respected, females are respected more. Not in the northern part it's patriarchal mostly. So everyone catches, or everyone is involved in this fishing, and they are also eating fish. So if you see what is done when the fish come from the sea, there's an auction, nilami. So there are certain parts the Aruna has to give, because the catamaran and the engine they have taken from the loan from bank. It all belongs to Aruna and family. So three parts they take. Because for fishing they need nets, they need so many things, it's a collective work. So catamaran, engine and nets, they are all with Aruna. So she gets a good money at that time. One part she has to give to others. Mostly the women come, they take this fish from the auction, and in nearby villages, wherever they are, they sell it. Along with this, traders, they take this fish from the coast and they sell it to the non-coastal areas, urban areas. As I said, 2 a.m. again, these three relatives of Aruna will go again, and it will be done round. But at the monsoon time, you cannot go to the sea, because the sea is very rough, and there is a reproduction going on. The fish are increasing their generation. It's that time. So this is around 3-4 months of time. At this time they don't have work. So when they don't have work for 4 months, what will they do? They will take loan. They will take loan, and here the problem will start. They have to take loan. They have to again take loan to repay the loan. Again, they will be in debt trap, because whole year they don't have job. As I said, in rural areas, in rural livelihoods, we have farming and non-farming both activities, related to agriculture, not related to agriculture. So we have all the work like landing, making land proper, sowing, weeding, and then finally harvesting. All these jobs are there. But if you see the sowing and harvesting period, everyone is busy. People are quite busy. But what about the other times when there is no time? If you see about the fishing, for 12 months for all 12 months they don't get job. So for main idea of this whole topic is that they don't get job for whole time, and they take money, and the money lenders in the Gaon area, they charged huge interest. So they are always caused in this. So small farmers, agricultural laborers, fishing families, craft persons, they do not find enough work to keep them employed throughout the year. And this is the scenario you need to understand out of this discussion. This is the only thing. So whatever different type of people we talked about, they are majority of Indians who don't get whole year job. So this is all about this topic. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.